Hey, how's it going, guys? Ancient Rune here, back with another Borderlands 3 build video, and today I'll be going over my Dark Army Zane build called Drone Ranger. This is a build update from when I previously posted the build to have a bit more gear swaps to make this build even stronger than before, truly min-maxing the gun to peak power. And Dark Army is already one of the strongest guns in the game. When you empty the magazine of the Dark Army, it will shoot elemental bullets for 3 seconds, dealing 666.6% increased damage. So when we take as much fire rate as possible, this is easily kept up. When the drone spawns, it snapshots your gun damage, fire rate, and playing dirty extra projectile and keeps it until you swap weapons, so we take advantage of this. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The save file will be found in my Discord, which is linked down below, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, and of course, we have the Dark Army. Just want to go max damage here. I like to use corrosive for regular stuff, as it's a common health type, as well as just having shock already. So I don't have to worry about that. And then I have cryo going. Fire, I can just swap to that, and it's really only with tanky enemies, like, let's say, Hemovorous. So I mainly just stick to corrosive the whole time. But yeah, I like to go Sentinel Cryo so I can pair it with ASC Rad on the grenade instead of like Terror Cryo, because I am using Terror on setup but not on the final thing, even though you could, and that's very easy. You just have ASC apply on the grenade, but I'll go over that later. And so I mainly just stick with the Sentinel Cryo now. It just ended up being better, especially since it allows you to have rat explosions, which are just really nice for this mobbing. If you do go Terror Cryo, it does help with Sentinel damage, and I have this Guardian Angel here to swap to if your Dark Army isn't doing it, which really shouldn't happen. This is just fight for your life if you go Boomstay. I don't have it currently because I found I don't need it, but if you find yourself dying a lot, then I'd go the Terror route with the Terror Cryo in here and Terror apply on the grenade, and then you'll have this Terror Cryo Guardian Angel with Boomstay, and that'll be a great fight for your life option. I just have another Dark Army here. This is just a different option. And then I have an EMP5. You want to go either EMP5 or Vanquisher for setting up the Dark Army. Vanquisher might be better since we do slide, but I don't need it technically. I mean, I am min-maxing here, but I don't need it. Hell, you don't even need this really, but it just is nice to help a little bit. I'll go over this bottom gear, which will be the setup for setting up the drones, and then I'll explain the gear for once the drones are spawned. So first off, we have a Revolter, which is being broken by an Infiltrator. You want to go Fleet Parts, as this will just help you get more bonus out of Violent Momentum. And then you want to have ASC Apply Terror to boost our Terror damage or fire rate here. We're using the Revolter on this part for the fire rate. Bonus element doesn't matter in this setup, but the fire rate is at 50% molt, which the Dark Army drones will get when they are spawned, so it is huge here. And then we have It's Pissed here. We need the Terror damage and fire rate and like here. For the fire rate, the damage doesn't matter here. The fire rate, I think, is 35%, just like the damage. And this is just to help get even more fire rate. We used Infiltrator because it's a Violent Momentum comm that can break our Revolter, so we can have Terror going. So Infiltrators must have, with ideally 5 points in Violent Momentum. The other bottom rows don't really matter. If you really want to, you can do the tediore fire rate or fire rate and/or really. And then the third slot with the weapon damage is irrelevant. It's just like I didn't have anything else because nothing else snapshots that would be helpful there. So I just have the fire rate going. But ideally, really just 5 momentum is probably better. And then we have a Snowdrift Victory Rush. Really, you just need any Snowdrift with double movement speed parts. The area effect damage is worthless here. Technically, the movement speed from Victory Rush is good, but because we're doing it before we start combat most of the time, Victory Rush won't be active then. You can do some stuff because like mid-combat, because we also have Bad Dose, which wouldn't be active for the movement speed and fire rate, but it is irrelevant and you do enough damage. Alright, and then I'm just going to go over the Scourge one first. It's just easier since it's similar gear. Same Revolter, It's Pissed. This is all for just keeping it up. The only thing that changes is that you want to pay attention to the passives here, mainly the SMG damage. The splash radius is here for hollow points or any red explosions that happen. This specific thing, red explosions don't matter too much. Really, SMG damage and as many points into fire momentum. This is just really easy to keep consistent and actually being able to swap to different dark armies. And then you just have the victory rush, same thing, and then the company man with crit damage and then elemental damage ideally, and then some area effect damage is nice. Same reason for the splash radius, because of the hollow points and red explosions, but the elemental damage will be more damage. All right, and then for the max gear setup, this is what you're normally going to be doing after you spawn the drones. We have the Revolter with action skill start. I like to have Vagabond, but you can have recharge rate would be really good. You don't want Absorb, as that can make it longer to have your Dark Army reload. I still start here just to keep it consistent. And then we have the It's Piss with AC Radiation or AC Terror Apply, depending on the top part you do. Again, Terror Cryo is better for Fight for Your Life if you're going with Sentinel for a second option for damage, or Sentinel Cryo plus AC. AC Red is definitely helps a lot with mobbing and is very noticeable from what I found, and definitely worth it. It's Sentinel Cryo, which only applies to guns, or Terror Cryo that applies to everything, for most things. And then the class mod here, we have the Executor. Really only the passives matter because the top rolls don't matter too much. Technically, the violent violence points matter, and that's it. So you'd just want to have violent violence points. Because farming sucks so much, I'd like this to just be one of the easier farms. Really, you just need SMG damage on an Executor, and then what helps is the splash damage radius to help rad explosions and hollow points, and then tediore fire rate there is just to help you reload your magazine faster. This fire rate won't affect the Dark Army drones, that because they're already spawned, and as well as those boosted points in violent violence won't help the Dark Army drones. But we go Executor here for the crit damage. That's really it. Oh, and the cryo damage, I guess, because we are using that Sentinel Cryo or Terror Cryo. But the crit damage is great because the crit damage is on hit and not on spawn for the Dark Army, so it's better than going the Infiltrator. We do lose that Terror V1 damage and fire rate, but we do have a bunch of fire rate to get a good amount of V1, to where having this crit damage and elemental boost is just so much better. And then we have the tediore company man. You just always use this with spawning the Sentinel drones. You ideally just want to focus on the crit damage, as that's on hit damage, and then the elemental damage and area of effect damage. Just any element that helps, which is shock, corrosive, or cryo, or fire if you use that. But again, only really for really tanky enemies that have a flesh bar. But yeah, that's what I go with. The fire rate and reload speed just help you for reloading the Dark Army to keep it cycling, but definitely not needed for the damage part. It is technically indirect damage because you're emptying, but it doesn't matter too much. And I just want to note that this isn't really you doing the Dark Army damage. You're not doing it, the drones are. So if we're taking options that may weaken Zane, that's fine, because Zane isn't the Dark Armies, if you get what I'm saying. Then for the skill tree, we're going down to the blue tree. We have the violent momentum points for hundreds of gun damage and violent speed here. We do not have cold bore. We are swapping weapons, but it doesn't matter here. Then we have 1 point in salvation, all we need for the lifesteal. The Dark Army drones will proc it, and as well as just your bullets. Then we have Cool Hand for reload speed. Really important to have a bunch of reload speed, so we can make sure that we are cycling that empty mag reload for the Dark Army. And then the drone delivery. This will have drone throw grenades like the It's Piss. You could also do the Mesmer if you wanted to, but I mainly do the It's Piss. It's just more damage. Seeing red to activate our kill skills all the time. We have at least 1 point in playing dirty, because we want to make sure playing dirty when it spawns to add that extra projectile to your guns. So instead of 1 bullet shooting, it'll be 2, and there's like 3 drones, so it'll be like 6 times shooting. Not that they'll all hit, but it is an extra bullet per drone. And then violent violence to get as much fire rate as possible to put into the drones, and then just for you to empty reload. And we only have 1 point in Good Misfortune because that's really all we need to keep drone active for a very long time. And then Death Falls Close to boost all of our kill skills, including Violent Momentum, which does get our kill skill boost, but isn't a kill skill technically. And then for the red tree, we're getting the Supersonic Man here. We have 5 points in Borrowed Time to get that action skill duration ended. Don't go Premunis because then it would take longer to empty mag reload. Then we have Donnybrook, some gun damage, but nice health regen for survivability. 5 points in Duct Tape mod. 1, there's nothing else to go because Synchronicity sucks and we're not using clone stuff. But this will also, because we're reloading so much, there's a good chance that we'll activate Duct Tape mod when it's ready. It says the cooldown's 4 seconds, but it's actually 8 seconds, only because it was buffed to 4 seconds, or it was supposed to be, but it didn't work and it only shows visually. But we're only really going at all these points because we're going down the tree to Supersonic Man to get more for Violent Momentum, really just for when spawning the drone. Nothing in Green Tree because nothing helps here. And then we're going all the way to Purple Capstone. So we have Mana Focus, accuracy and handling's nice. Doesn't really matter too much because if we hit the enemy, it doesn't matter because we're not doing the main damage. You could put some points in Renegade if you wanted. Don't want any in Deja Vu. Commitment for the action skill cooldown mainly. Gun damage is nice, but not matter too much. Headsman's Hands for the crit damage, which will help. The drones, I should have mentioned this when doing Executor, but the drones kind of stay above you, so they kind of usually shoot down at enemies, which makes it easier for the crit spot, so it's pretty good at critting, which is really nice. And then we have Fugitive, so we can shoot and sprint. We're constantly shooting. We're shooting even if we're not like hitting an enemy, because we just want to empty that magazine. Domino Effect, fire rate and reload speed, amazing. Eraser, you can technically eraser, the drones can eraser. It's not going to do much, but I still want to get Armin Flint, and there's not really much else that helps. So if the drone's eraser and it hits an enemy, that's nice. If not, doesn't matter, still doing insane damage. And then we have just 1 point in Sheer Will to help Sentinel cooldown, because the stacks don't affect Mantis cooldown. And then we have Armin Flint. Now there is the crazy dot stuff, which I don't take advantage, nor have I really tested here, but I'm just using it for the V2 damage, so I'm always ADSing when I have this, because how much damage I'm doing doesn't matter once the drones are spawned. So when you're ADSing, you're getting less out of Violent Momentum, but those Violent Momentum gun damage has already been applied to the drones, so you just have to worry about everything else that's on hit, which this V2 damage counts on. And then if you're going just the Infiltrator route, you can turn these off, because Infiltrator will break and fill your shield for your Revolter, and then it allows you to keep that fleet time up, which is nice. All right, first I'll show how this works, and then I'll explain why we take everything after. So first off, you want to make sure you have your EMP5, your Infiltrator, your Revolter with your Terror, and then your Snowdrift, and then also the Dark Army you want. Activate our action skills, let our Terror go, and then you'll just slide and swap, and then you've got your Dark Army spawned. So then we will swap the items to the shield and grenade you want to use, and then to your Executor, and then your Company Man, and you're good to go. It does that animation with your blocking, or swapping weapons, but your drones still stay up. It doesn't mean anything, I already tested that. And then we also have something for Scourge, because when Scourge teleports you, it's very far away, and the drones don't teleport to you, they just follow. So if I'm all the way over here, they have to travel. Now imagine I'm teleported across the map, they have to go all the way. So for Scourge, it's better to just reset up your drones quickly. So for that, it kind of goes to old Drone Ranger, where I just keep this Revolter and Terranoid Grenade, and then I just have an Infiltrator that's good for everything, and I just swap between the Company Man and Victory Rush for setting up quickly. I hope you guys enjoyed the build video. This build is absolutely insane because the Dark Army is insane on all Vault Hunters. It's just a crazy gun. Using the damage formula to your advantage helps so much and makes this gun as strong as possible. I also have Dark Army builds for the other Vault Hunters, which I will post as well in the description, as well as my old Drone Ranger video. Again, you can find the save file in my Discord, which is linked down below, as well as my other socials. If you haven't, I'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.